Okay, finally we get to recording audio. For those of you who feared that we were just loop people. Recording audio is where it all happens, and it's where your tracks can be different than everyone else's, so we must know how to do this. All right, so I have my I/O portion of my mixer set up. Here's mixer, here's I/O, gone. There, there. It's the same in the arrangement. I have my I/O, okay? So I have named these tracks. The reason is that if you don't name your tracks, if I start recording on audio 1, I'm going to get dozens of audio 1 samples, and it's just going to go on and on, okay? So what you want is this. Your files are named as they are to avoid a cluster at the end, okay? So I name it. I do that by right-clicking Rename or Command-R. I got my 2 tracks named. I have a bass guitar here and a bass pedal there. You can see the meters there. To prove it, I'm just going to arm the track. There's my bass, and here's my Ibanez DM1100, my pawn shop favorite. And what? I see levels, but I don't hear it. That's because I have the monitoring turned to off for now. Let's hear this. Okay, so this is what we're going to record. And I did this by going here, external input. Now this is anything that's on the other side of your interface, and I'm just going to say configure. It rolls me over to this. I go to input configuration. This is my Apogee, and I have need today of 2 mono tracks, P-Bass and Ibanez DM1100. Mono, which brings up a point that's always bugged me somewhat about live. Anybody that knows anything about mixing knows that having a bunch of stereo pairs across a mix is just a surefire recipe for lack of focus, smeared mixes that don't sound good. But let me show you something. In this next little pane, one down, I have my available inputs that I just had greened up on my config page out here. Just to prove it, ding, ding, green, okay? That's here. Same thing. So I have a mono 7, mono 8. Anything that's designated with a mono input will in fact record into the arrangement mono. So there you go. That's all that's needed. Now, on the other inputs here, these refer to other software within the Mac. Okay, and you can see Melodyne and Rewire from Waves that I have on this rig. Resampling, we're going to get to that in 3 or 4 chapters. It's going to make you very happy. This is like a little candy store for anybody that really recognizes what this is. And we'll do some of this creative routing, and it gets wonderful in here, actually very creative stuff. All right, so the other thing that we needed to deal with is monitoring and latencies and inputs. So back to my prefs. In the very first setting up your audio interface, I showed you how to use this and the usage simulator to bring your latencies down to a manageable level. And actually now that I've got mine on, I can hear some crackles. So I'm going to up this. I'm going to touch this, use my arrows, and then apply. Touch it again, arrows apply. Okay, and now it's better. So what the desire here is to get this as low as possible without breaking up the driver. Okay, down here on the record tab, I have my file types. I'm going to record wave at 24-bit. Count in 1 bar, 4, 2 or 4. This means that when I hit record out here, I'm going to hear this metronome for 1 bar to count me into the track. No problem. Okay, so in the next session, we roll.